What are you wearing?
Close.
Maybe we should go change.
Now. Should we I'll help you change if you help me change.
Let's do it. Welcome to the Glaziar Gaming Podcast, episode 19. My name is Michael Glaziar, that is Joe Rybolt, or I am Captain Morgan.
We are Negan.
We are here to talk to you. This is our sports section, and we got a lot of good news for you today. So buckle up, sit down, maybe grab a drink, and...
first of all, they shouldn't be watching this in their car.
Buckle up? Yeah. Well, I mean, I have straps in my bedroom, so they might...
The different kinds, though.
Right, yeah. Yep.
Maybe. To each their own.
Yeah, exactly. Do not kink shame unless your kink shame is kink shaming. Yeah, so let's just jump right into this. Let's dive on in, they might say.
Oh, we just ate, though. We shouldn't be swimming.
Probably, yeah. But, you know.
I think that's a myth.
First up is the NBA.
Stop wailing your sword around.
First up is the NBA. We actually have a few topics. The first one that I wanted to bring up. So, the Brooklyn Nets are slightly disappointing right now. Before the season started, they implemented what was called the James Harden rule. And it seems to be affecting James Harden a lot. And then it's also affecting Trae Young. But James Harden is not getting basically any free throws because they've changed the rules on how the offensive player gets penalties. I was looking at his statistics and people were saying, is he still a superstar caliber player? He has very similar statistics right now as Jordan Clarkson had winning his sixth man. And I thought that was really interesting because people were talking about how he might be falling off. He might just be like all-star level player, not a superstar level player. And the Nets need him to be a superstar in order to win, which I agree with, especially without Kyrie. If he's not up to what he's always been.
If it's not Houston Rockets Harden, gonna be a problem.
Harden's averaging 17, 7, and 8, or 16, 7, and 8. Jordan Clarkson won sixth man at 17, 3, and 2. So James Harden is right now the equivalent of sixth man.
Not great.
Not great. So I just wanted to bring that up because I think that's pretty alarming for the Nets.
I think they're going through a bit of a kind of like an identity crisis. They don't, without Kyrie, they kind of don't know, who's going to step up.
Yep.
I know Blake Griffin is obviously not doing anything. Joe Harris has kind of been a super disappointment since he signed his contract.
Especially in the playoffs.
Yeah, they let Dinwiddie go. Boy, it would have been nice to have someone like Spencer Dinwiddie right now, wouldn't it?
Or a Karis LeVert, Jared Allen, somebody along those lines would be nice.
So, they're going through a bit of an identity crisis, and Harden's going to have his games where he goes for 50.
I've already seen people saying Ben Simmons for James Harden.
I mean, they got to figure out what to do with Kyrie. It's just a waste of money on their roster right now. So, I mean, I don't know where they're going to go because it's still early in the season. Obviously, Timberwolves are third in the West, so...
Which Timberwolves are usually about third in the West at this time every year.
So...
Lakers are looking terrible.
Yeah, I think I kind of expected that almost. Everyone's 35.
Yeah.
So,
and their players, it's like a bunch of players, it's like a bunch of individuals, not a team. So I just don't expect a lot out of Lakers. Maybe they'll turn it around once LeBron's back, but... Yeah, I just thought I'd throw that out there because I thought it was very interesting that people were like, well, do we have any comparison to what Harden is right now? Yeah, sixth man of the year.
Jordan Clarkson, except not as athletic. Still probably a better shooter than Clarkson, but
better distributor.
Not as good of a slasher or driver. So.
And now he's not getting the calls. Speaking of Lakers, instead of Russell Westbrook, they were originally apparently targeting Buddy Hield, but decided not to when they realized they could get Russell Westbrook instead.
So here's the thing. With the way the Lakers roster is was formatted before the Russell Westbrook trade, the best thing to surround LeBron with would have been shooters.
Yeah. Yep.
And they went and got Westbrook, who, not a great shooter.
He's shooting 12% from three right now, and before yesterday he was shooting 9%.
Yeah, so he's made some clutch buckets in his day, but he's not Buddy Hield type of shooter.
He's just not a shooter.
Almost would have liked to see them go for Buddy Hield instead of Westbrook.
Buddy Hield's better than Westbrook. He's better than Malik Monk. He's better than Wayne Ellington.
Yeah.
They're better than Patty Mills, I think, he's on the Nets.
Yeah, he's on the Nets.
But yeah, he's better than all those guys. So I would have gone after Buddy Hield if I were them.
I mean, you just got to get shooters everywhere. That's where what I would have done.
But Buddy Hield's proving his shooting abilities.
Yeah,
because
he's coming off the bench in Sacramento,
which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I get it. Like, he doesn't provide much besides shooting.
Yeah.
And he's like he entered the NBA old, like 23, compared to a lot of guys entering at 19. But man, like, it's so.
Would have been nice to have some shooters around LeBron.
But he right now for the Sacramento Kings, he passed Peja for all-time 3-point makes.
Kings history,
and he's 26.
Yeah.
Man. Well, I like Buddy Hield a lot.
Yeah, no, I like Buddy Hield too.
We were thinking the Timberwolves might take him. What year? Chris Dunn year? Is that Chris Dunn?
Also would have been nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I think as we were going to take him, we took Chris Dunn instead.
Chris Dunn, I believe, is on. He was on like some summer league teams. Like he made a summer league team. So
sounds about how good he was.
Yeah.
Well, and then our last NBA news is Josh Okogie's value. You put down 6 points, 5 rebounds, 2 blocks, 2 steals, 5 deflections, 10 contested shots.
That was the stats of their first 2 games.
Okay.
So let me read that one more time.
6 points.
6 points, 5. That was the first game. So the first game of the season, he started. He had 6 points, 5 rebounds, 2 blocks, 2 steals, 5 deflections, and 10 contested shots. All team highs for the deflections and the contested shots. The thing about Okogie is you've got Jaden McDaniels, you've got Jared Vanderbilt, who Jaden McDaniels is probably more versatile and cover more positions. Vanderbilt is a better big defender.
Yeah,
he's got the size. So now, from when I put this note on, the Wolves have had a couple more games. Guarding someone like a Giannis is very difficult. So Josh Okogie's value, I believe, has gone down because of what McDaniels can do and what Vanderbilt can do. They provide the same offensive threat, but they're just more versatile on defense. So I guess my question at the time was, I thought Okogie was amazing throughout the first 2 games, but it's just going to show that like his time's been limiting with the emergence of
what he does best. We have.
Yeah.
But I think as a bench player, and if he's willing to accept a role as like an 8th, 9th man on the roster, he's a perfect fit still. Yeah, I like his value. I think he's a good trade piece for a team that needs defense, like Brooklyn or the Lakers, something like that. But it's hard. It's hard for him.
I've been seeing a lot of things around Timberwolves Twitter in regards to possibly Jake Layman or Okogie for Willie Cauley-Stein, because we need some size.
If you saw me brighten up there, I'm a huge Willie Cauley-Stein fan.
Yeah, we need some size on the interior, and we don't have a lot of muscle that can really. We get killed by big guys,
Willie Cauley-Stein's not really like a big muscle. He got bullied by Embiid,
right?
But
the size
would help, and him and Cat played together. We're such a good duo, and it would move Cat to the 4, which Cat has proven in these first few games he doesn't want to be a big. He has multiple times where he's been calling for the ball as a point guard.
Yeah,
it's just the way he plays doesn't fit as a big.
Yeah,
he's a stretch 4. He's just a 7-foot stretch 4.
Yeah, he's the best big man shooting center in NBA history. So play to your strengths, I guess. No,
but I would love to see Willie Cauley-Stein, especially if it was a Okogie for a Cauley-Stein straight up. I think both teams are fine with that.
Layman in the second.
Yeah.
Yep. So, one more thing on the Wolves is we lost to the Pelicans. We beat the Pelicans, and then we lost to the Pelicans. And right after that, the next practice, it was Chris Finch said it was testy.
Yeah.
So, we think back to the Jimmy Butler era, but no, I think it was a bunch of guys, chirping at each other, trying to get better,
which we assumed would happen when Pat Bev joined the team, because he's a vocal leader.
Yeah, and basically Anthony Edwards was interviewed at some point afterwards, and he said, we got all of the. He's referring to the big 3 that we have: D'Angelo, Ant, and Cat. He was saying that we can't beat 5 people with 3 people. We need to pass the ball. Yeah. So, Ant is kind of taking that approach.
Well, at the end of the game with the Pelicans, D'Lo and Cat wouldn't give the ball up.
Yeah.
If for anybody watching, D'Lo and Cat were calling for the ball and refusing to pass.
Yeah.
I get what he's saying.
Yeah, Ant said he's not afraid to, tell them, hey, you need to play more like.
Well, I'm sure if it's Ant, he's like, guys, fucking come on. Considering he just lets it loose in interviews, I'm sure in practice.
He is a gem. He is protect him at all costs.
Please,
protect his interviews at all
I see
costs.
people saying that he's already their favorite Timberwolf of all time.
Yeah, he's great.
While yes, I did want LaMelo Ball during the draft. I think both players are looking great, and I'm so happy we have Ant.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Yeah.
I like Ant a lot, but I'm glad to hear that he's taking a leadership role. He looks like a leader, he plays like a leader, and I think Pat Bev's going to help him develop into one, which is honestly, I think they went and got Pat Bev for that exact reason.
Yeah, he said, Pat Bev himself has said Ant is a sponge.
Yeah.
He's soaking up everything that Pat Bev can give him, and one of those things is that vocal leadership quality, so...
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, now we can move on. That was all of our basketball talk. I know regular season started and there's things going on, but it's only been a few games. It's too hard to judge this early on. I mean, the Bulls are undefeated, I think, and there's some storylines, but really there's not too much to talk about. And we're Wolves fans, so this is the time of year where the Wolves shine before they eventually disappoint us. So yeah, that's all we really got for basketball talk. We're gonna move on. There are some other sports topics, but we're going to jump into the NFL right away. The first one I would like to talk about is the New Jersey Jets. They traded for an elite quarterback who's been on the team before.
It's about time, yeah. He's never really not been elite.
Mm-hmm.
So last year they had a backup quarterback. For some reason, I don't know why he was their backup. Joe Flacco.
Yep.
So
then they let him go in
They let him go in free agency. Yep.
Yep.
They could have re-signed him.
Yep.
Easily, very much easily could have re-signed him.
And then we started hearing that Eagles fans were asking for Joe Flacco to start over Jalen Hurts.
Yep.
So
even though they just traded for Gardner Minshew, too. So
yeah.
Yeah. So the Jets ended up trading a 6th-round pick to get Joe Flacco back.
Yep.
So that he could start games for the injured Zach Wilson.
Yeah, I think he's going to be doing better than Zach Wilson was doing. I liked Zach Wilson in college. I thought he was drafted way too high. I had him in mocks going to the Jets, but talent evaluation, I did not have him as a first-round quarterback. I'm fine if he proves me wrong, but I like Joe Flacco better, even right now in his career, and I like Gardner Minshew better. I would have if I were the Jets, I would have been like, "Do you want to trade us Minshew instead?" But.
Yeah, I mean, Minshew can lead you to 5 wins, 6 wins.
But you got an elite QB now, so I'm expecting the Jets to go undefeated the rest of the season.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. Real quick, we know we jumped into the NFL. We're going to give you a quick NBA topic again. Gerald Green retired. He had the most underrated dunk in dunk contest history, where he blew out the cupcake, dunked it, and then the cupcake stayed on.
Yeah, it stayed on. Candles blown out. Yeah, it didn't even get a 50. It wasn't even a 50.
It was like a 40. And then Dwight Howard putting a sticker on the backboard got a 50.
Yeah.
And Dwight Howard throwing the ball in without touching the hoop got a 50, which it doesn't count as a dunk. We're not salty about it though. But yeah, good job, Gerald Green. Congratulations on the career, and sad to see you go, but I understand. All right, jump back into the NFL. We're gonna pat ourselves on the back here. In the beginning of the preseason, we decided to do a prediction of how we thought the season was going to turn out. When we did the AFC North, we said the Steelers were going to take last in their division. Or we thought maybe Steelers or Bengals, but we said we could see the Steelers taking last. Steelers are currently last in their division and on track to definitely take last in their division. And Mike Tomlin most likely will have his first losing record as a coach. The other team we picked to take last in their division, which I expected a lot of hate from this at the time, was the Seahawks. We picked them to take last in their division, and we picked the Cardinals to take first in that division.
Now it is tough that Russell Wilson got hurt. However,
I still think the Seahawks,
everything else besides Russ and DK Metcalf and a little bit of Tyler Lockett in there, everything else on their offense is just horrible.
Oh yeah, yep. And has been for a while.
Yeah, and their defense, they're never going to.
They can't figure out tight end. They're just like the Vikings that don't pursue offensive line for some reason, and their defense has just never been the same since Legion of Boom. I know Seattle fans are probably so sick of hearing that exact phrase. Haven't been the same since Legion of Boom, but their D-backs.
I mean, just your secondary and Legion of Boom could carry any team.
And they haven't really gone out. They had 3 picks in the draft this year
because they broke the bank for Jamal Adams.
Which Jamal Adams had 9 sacks last season, has 0 so far this season, and he's not a cover
all the
safety.
Drama though.
Right, exactly. He's a linebacker playing safety, and he's not great in coverage. At least that's what he's shown. But he's great at tackling mascots.
Holding out, Cam.
Holding out, yeah. I just don't. He's the highest paid safety in the league, and I think the Seattle Seahawks are last in their division for a multitude of reasons, but one of those is for sure Russell Wilson, one is for sure Jamal Adams, and the rest is all on coaching and management. They shouldn't have gotten themselves to 3 picks.
You're not going to be able to do anything with 3 picks.
No. Unless you have to hit on all 3. When the best GMs in the history of the league in terms of success average a minimum of 7 picks a draft. So it just proves the most success you have in the draft is get as much picks as possible. That's Rick Spielman doesn't get 11 picks a draft because he thinks he's good at drafting. He gets 11 picks a draft because he knows 2 of those 11 are going to end up being starters for 10 years.
Yeah.
So it just...
The more picks you have, the more chances you have to hit.
Right. So 3 picks was just really the nail in the coffin for the Seahawks, and part of the reason why we thought they would be the last in their division. And so far, just
strength of the Rams, strength of the Cardinals. They're just good built teams.
Pat ourselves on the back here.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. I cut myself. If anything, this thing probably could pop a zit. Anyway, that's we just want to give ourselves a pat on the back, and
I think we also said the Lions would take last.
I think most people would have, but I didn't want to pat ourselves for that, but Lions as well. Sticking with the topic of football, sticking with Jets, teams that need quarterbacks, teams that we talked about that might not do well. The Miami Dolphins are moving on from Tua. It's basically all said and done. They're going to move on from Tua. But the quarterback that they're going after is Deshaun Watson. Even with all this stuff going on off field, for those of you who do not know, feel free to look it up. I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah. There's about 22 different reasons you can find on there.
At least 22 different reasons. So they...
Allegedly.
Deshaun Watson has apparently waived his no-trade clause when it comes to potentially being traded to the Miami Dolphins. If everything off-field, even if that doesn't get, settled at any point this season, he could still get traded. And it sounds like the Dolphins are the team that are going to be going for him. They believe that they have a team that can be playoff/Super Bowl bound with the quarterback. Even though they're 1-5, they think the only reason is their quarterback, who has a 90% or a 90 quarterback rating on average so far this season, and 8 touchdowns to 9 interceptions.
The thing that I read with Miami is that they're willing to pull the trigger on the trade, except they want clarity from either the Texans organization or the NFL. In regards to what's going to happen,
if they trade for him,
can he play for us? Is that,
will he face a suspension if he comes in right away?
Yeah.
If he is suspended, what is the reasoning? If he doesn't have any convictions,
right.
Yeah. So there's a delay, but it sounds like it's basically said and done. They've agreed to terms. Was the report is that they've already agreed to terms, and the no trade clause has been waived.
Yeah, they're just looking for the clarity for what's exactly going to happen. But it looks like they're ready to pull the trigger before that deadline. So I
wouldn't do it if I were them.
I wouldn't give up the. I want to give up the bag for.
I think there's nothing better than a franchise quarterback, and I know Nick Wright is not a very popular person, but he made a take this past offseason when Russell Wilson was on the trade market. What is a franchise quarterback worth to you? And he said he would be willing to trade his first-round pick for every year that quarterback is on your team. And he said if that quarterback is supposed to be as good as they are, your first-round pick should be in the high 20s at best anyway. So what's it worth to you? I get that. Deshaun Watson's that type of player, but in considering the fact that if what's going on off the field, allegedly, if that goes through and he does get convicted of especially more than one count, he won't be in the NFL probably ever again.
He'll be in jail.
Exactly. He'll be in jail, jail time. So I wouldn't risk it, and I would have to if you do risk it, got to put something in the wording of the deal that if he ends up facing jail time and playing less than 16 games, that you get your picks back or something.
Yeah, which Texans wouldn't agree to that.
Texans would, yeah. So I wouldn't go for it. I
don't know. There's a lot of problems with Miami. You've got Waddle is obviously kind of came on in the last couple of weeks.
Their receivers are good.
Gesicki has done very well the last 2 games. He's borderline top 10 tight end.
Xavier Howard wants to be traded.
Yeah. They, for some reason, don't know that Myles Gaskin's the best running back on their roster. He gets 10 touches a game, 15 touches a game.
And Devontae Parker's good, but he's kind of lost his role in their offense.
Yeah.
So there's one player.
There's other problems with Miami that's not the quarterback. And Tua led the Dolphins, like, they were 10-6 last year. So, I mean, they are good. They can be good if used correctly.
If I were them, I would try to move Devontae for a early to mid pick in the draft, plus a like 4th round corner or fourth string corner.
Or trade him just for like O-line.
Right. Oh yeah, or O-line. Somebody
if they had someone like a Laramie Tunsil, that'd be great.
I feel like that'd be really good on their team. But yeah, anyway, Dolphins have a lot more problems than quarterback. I wouldn't risk it on Deshaun, but hey, if that's what they want to do.
They shouldn't have let Fitzpatrick go either.
They shouldn't have let Fitz go. They should start using Gaskin. They shouldn't have got rid of Kenyon Drake.
Yeah.
They've made a lot of mistakes, and it's more than just the quarterback. But if you've been paying attention, a lot of Miami fans have lost faith in the team. I get it, but you got to support your team. We have a friend who his favorite team is the Dolphins, so we are Miami fans
through him.
Yeah. So we feel for you in a sense, but it's more than just the quarterback. Tua is not great. I would say he's not as good as he's like average or slightly above. Yeah. Not too much else to say that wouldn't just be rubbing salt in your wounds. And last little bit, because I want to talk about college football, and then we're going to go over just a couple key games for NFL this week. College football has a San Diego. I like specialists. I've mentioned this before. We had a whole segment on specialist kick return, kickers, punters, how that's the most important thing.
About that punter?
Yeah.
Okay,
San Diego State's punter has multiple 70-plus yard punts and an 80-yard punt.
Yeah.
My longest punt, fun fact, in high school was 77 yards.
Yeah. You get the bounce, you get the roll.
It was 77 yards in the air. Punting was my favorite thing to do. I was very fast. So they always had me at place like running back, linebacker, wide receiver, all the other positions.
Kick return where you had to run sideways and hand it off.
Kick return, punt return. I did all those things, but my favorite thing to do was punting, and it's just there's something about kicking the ball and just watching it fly. I could punt for hours. I could kick field goals for hours and just live my life that way. I just love it. So San Diego State punter. Pay attention because he's one of those punters/kickers that we might see get picked in the 4th or 5th round for probably a team that desperately understands the value of kickers and punters and also realizes when you look around the league, there's not many good ones. So the value of a good one is huge.
The longevity of a kicker and
he's currently in terms of rating is the number 1 ranked punter in the nation. The next highest ranked punter is like 17 points below him in terms of rating. So to give you a sense of how good he is, that's about the equivalent of, I think it was like 2018 or something, Justin Tucker versus the field. He's the generational punter. Just wanted to bring that up. The last thing we're going to do is what we've been doing every week. We're going to go over just a few key games, including the Vikings. I should turn the volume off because the Packers and Cardinals will be starting soon, and it'll play. So first, let's do what we always do. Minnesota Vikings. They play the Dallas Cowboys. Dak Prescott might not play.
Game time decision.
He's going to play. Jerry Jones said he's going to play. And doesn't matter if the team doctor says he can't. Doesn't matter if Mike McCarthy says he can't. What Jerry Jones says goes in Dallas. So even if Dak Prescott shouldn't play, Jerry Jones is going to make sure he does play. So I am 100% expecting Dak to play. I don't think there's any ifs, ands, buts, coconuts about it.
You know, the last time the Vikings played the Cowboys, it was a very good game.
It always is a good game.
Amari Cooper was catching everything. Kyle Rudolph had a multiple touchdown game, including a bunch of one-handers in the end zone. Rudolph might have had 3 touchdowns that game. I don't remember.
I'm stuck thinking about Amari Cooper
caught everything,
and he gets to go up against no Patrick Peterson and a team that has.
Hey, I saw something the other day. After 3 weeks, Bashaud Breeland was
116 out of 119.
Yeah, something like that, right? Like 109 out of 112.
Something like that.
And then the next 3 weeks, he was like 4th out of 103.
He's better than Mike Hughes.
So
he's better than Mike Hughes. But he's still like I don't want hot and cold. Give me top 50.
Yeah.
Every week. You don't need to be number 4, but you can't be number 100. So I was happy when we got Breeland. I was very excited, and then those first few weeks I was not happy at all.
It was rough.
But it sounds like Breeland is going to be the one taking on Cooper. Cam Dantzler is going to be doing CeeDee Lamb.
CeeDee Lamb.
And Mackenzie Alexander is going to be taking slot. We'll see what happens.
Who's your other receiver?
That number 3 guy. It's not Gallup. It's
Gallup's hurt, I think.
Yeah, it's some other dude that's been doing really well. But yeah, so I'm most scared about Amari Cooper going up against.
That's the matchup.
Breland.
That's the matchup, I think.
You got Harrison Smith to help, but
Woods is playing
the
good.
key player I think people should pay attention to is Hill. It was Harrison Hand was activated.
Yeah.
So I'm a big Harrison Hand fan. He was a huge project coming out of college. If they can get him to develop and play, I've heard that he might play some safety this game. Xavier Woods, Harrison Smith, plus Harrison Hand if they do like a 3 safety set.
Behind those two, there's not really a next up, you know?
Exactly. So
Harrison Hand's a ball hawk, too. He's got a little bit of that, where the ball is, he's there. So.
It's a primetime game.
Of course it is. America's team.
And Kirk, they always have to put Kirk primetime against the Cowboys. So this will be a good. Kirk's been MVP level so far this season.
Yeah, he's been playing
Hall of
really
Famer
well.
Kirk Cousins is ready to. If you don't get that reference, you don't watch this show enough. Hall of Famer Kirk Cousins is ready to show for this game why he should be in that MVP conversation. And I want the Cowboys to lose. I would love if Vikings could take it here. I do think Tony Pollard's going to have a good game. I think Zeke is going. Michael Pierce doesn't sound like he's going to play.
Yeah.
But it sounds like Barr is going to play.
Ben Elson
was just moved.
Put on IR, though.
But yeah, so it sounds like Barr is supposed to play, Kendrick's supposed to play, Cook's supposed to play. We have with a fully intact defense minus Michael Pierce, we should be able to stop Zeke. It's the passing game, and when you think about passing game, I think Tony Pollard's going to be tossed in there. Yeah. We tend to struggle with mobile quarterbacks, so I would expect
how much are they going to want Dak to move around?
Right.
Too. Another thing, Trayvon Diggs. Got to talk about him.
He's going to get at least one pick.
So, yeah, I mean, he's a very feast or famine corner. I've seen some stats about how the most yards given up in coverage in a season is like 1,060 or something, and Diggs is on pace for like 1,172.
So before this season started, I said Trayvon Diggs is one of those guys that he either picks it off or gives up a touchdown.
Yep.
So that falls right in line.
Yeah.
I thought, so when I heard about how well he was doing, I was like, maybe my analysis of him was wrong. Like I thought it was,
and then you see the yards he's given up, and it's like, okay, he's going for the ball, and if he doesn't get the ball, he misses, and the receiver caught it.
Justin Jefferson's not somebody you want to do that to.
Yeah.
And Thielen after the catch is super good. So
yeah. Even KJ Osborne.
Dallas has been involved in shootouts. And Vikings have one of the top producing offenses in the league. Yeah. Can we get a 45-42 win for the Vikings?
I would love it. The game-winning field goal by Greg Joseph.
Game-winning field goal by Greg Zerline.
67 yards. Greg Joseph.
Well, he can't hit a 47.
He
but
doesn't have a leg. No. He got a 50, 53.
Yeah,
whatever.
But he can't hit a 47.
Or anything. Like, 37... to 27 to 47 is like his gray area.
Yeah, anywhere closer or further, feel pretty confident.
Yeah,
but yeah, I expect a good game honestly out of Tony Pollard. I think they're going to do well against Zeke, and I think CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson each probably get a TD.
You have a bold prediction, just a random thing. So I got one.
Go for it.
Tyler Conklin touchdown.
Tyler Conklin touchdown. Okay,
that's my.
That's pretty. That is bold against Micah Parsons, and
it's just my thing. I don't know, feeling it.
My bold.
Give me Cowboys.
A Cowboys bold prediction. Yeah. Amari Cooper over 100 yards but no touchdown, and CeeDee Lamb gets 2 touchdowns.
Okay. All right.
That'd be my prediction. So Amari Cooper 10-11 catches for like 109, and then CeeDee Lamb like 7 catches for 88 yards, 2 touchdowns.
The last game, the Vikings versus Cowboys game last year or the year before, last year.
They've played every year pretty much.
Yeah. One of the greatest performances I've ever seen by a wide receiver.
Was CeeDee Lamb?
No, Amari Cooper.
Last
year, or the year we played.
He's a great route runner and
unbelievable. Yeah. Just toes down, just unbelievable.
I feel like Raiders could use a weapon like him.
I know, it'd be really nice if they had something. I can name one Raiders wide receiver.
Ruggs.
Yeah. Renfro.
Yeah, Renfro. Waller.
Yeah.
So that's what I think. Final thing on that, because we don't want to beat people's heads. Vikings are 2.5 point favorites. at Vikings. Over-under is 53.5.
It was 3.5.
Again, nothing in this is betting advice, but nothing in this is betting advice. But I'm gonna go with the over on that one, and I'm taking Vikings. I could do an accent,
I'll take Vikings by 6.
And us Pirates got to take the Vikings. So,
aren't you a Buccaneers fan? Raiders?
No,
Buccaneers. Yeah. Why would you want to be a Raiders fan?
So let's go through a couple games here. Okay, we'll do what we did last week. Falcons, Panthers. Falcons. I don't know what you think.
Falcons. Yeah.
Bills, Dolphins. Bills. They're 14-point favorites. We don't need to talk about that. Nice. Bears, Niners.
Both the quarterbacks are out. Maybe.
I'm still taking.
No, Jimmy's back.
I'm still taking Niners.
Yeah.
Browns, Steelers. Browns.
Browns with Keenum. Still beats the Steelers.
Lions, Eagles.
Eagles. I don't know.
You know what?
Lions.
Eagles. Lions. I think the Eagles. Jalen Hurts has just been the most disappointing player I've seen this. He had the highest expectations and biggest drop off for me versus expectations.
Sure.
So there it is. Dan Campbell gets his first win in Detroit. Lions. Colts, Titans.
Titans are too hot right now.
Colts are 1.5-point favorites. I'm taking the Titans.
Yeah.
For sure. Derrick Henry's going to have 7,000 yards by the end of this season. Probably passing.
He had more passing touchdowns than Patrick Mahomes last week.
Yes, he did. Jets, Bengals. Jets versus... Then you pick whatever I said there. Jets, it's the other team.
This one's more of a landslide, probably.
14.5-point. I think this is the biggest spread of the week. Yeah. Rams, Texans. Rams. Patriots, Chargers. Chargers have done a fall off, but everybody is jumping off the Chargers bandwagon.
Patriots did drop a 50-piece last week.
And Mac Jones has been killing it. However, and last time Herbert played the Patriots, he got shut out. I'm still taking the Chargers.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Seahawks, Jags.
They got their first win last week.
It's honestly going to be close, but Seahawks.
I'll take Jags in this one.
Really?
Yeah.
In Seattle?
Geno Smith?
Jags. We went with the Lions? Jags. Football team, Broncos. Saints, Bucks. Chiefs, Giants.
Even they can beat the Giants. They play the Titans. Titans are hot right now. I'm taking the Chiefs.
We'll take the Chiefs this one. Yeah. So big upsets of the week will be Lions, Jags, Giants.
The Jizz.
All the Jizz are gonna. All the Jizz is gonna get upset this week. So, I am. Honestly, I could see the Chiefs losing to the Giants, but I'm genuinely not picking the Giants. I'm just messing. Chiefs fan, you're just the one that's left.
It's Jackson Mahomes.
Dancing on Sean Taylor's number.
They told us to stand there. It's like blocked off.
Yep. And he was everybody else that was standing there was taking selfies, but they weren't dancing. And that's it for football. That was it for the NFL discussion. We can throw in one little thing. JJ Watt's out for the year.
What?
Yeah.
I don't know if he's played 16 games in his career.
I don't know either. Maybe that one season where he had a receiving touchdown, whatever. Yeah.
Oh yeah, like 3 of them.
I don't think he wasn't really making a huge wave. He was more of a leader on the team, which they already have guys that can take that role, like Larry Fitzgerald. But yeah, so JJ Watt's out. Hopefully he gets help, but yeah, he's out for the rest of the year. Other than that, NHL, the Chicago Blackhawks have their scandal going on. We don't really know enough about that. We've mentioned before, we're not huge hockey fans, so...
we're mentioning it. I've read some pretty disturbing things.
Yeah, I've read some pretty disgusting.
Graphic, just gross.
It's enough where the organization as a whole might see repercussions. People are probably going to be losing their jobs.
Some guy already stepped down.
Some guys stepped down. They're probably they might lose money, draft picks. Free agents probably aren't going to go there. Pretty crazy. It's
also just another one of those things. It's the same kind of basis as like the Redskins. Right, like it's pretty controversial. It's pretty controversial. Right, but I mean, Redskins controversial like imagery.
Yeah.
So another reason for them. But yeah, if we have anything, if we found out any more on this topic, we'll make sure to mention something. But it's not something we stand for, and just not. The less you talk about it, the less it
doesn't deserve any airtime, and we don't know enough about it to give you accurate or good information. I like to be humorous and funny, and it's one of those things that you can't even joke about, so I don't even want to joke about it. So that's it.
Moving on to the Major League Baseball.
Astros and the Braves.
Yeah, the Braves, congratulations to their leadoff hitter in the first inning of Game 1. He's the first person to hit a home run in the first at-bat in the World Series.
And I'm sure there was a resounding joy from most baseball fans.
Yeah, so I saw or heard a sports analyst say that if Houston has a lot of firepower on offense, so if the game gets up to those like 6, 7, 8 runs, most likely Houston's going to win. But if the Braves can keep the numbers down, they have a good chance to win. So
I think overall Braves are a better team.
Yeah, they either won 3-0 or 3-2 the first game, so the Braves kept to that lower number. And then Houston put up 7 in the second one, and Houston won. So yeah, that's where it's at now, 1-1, I believe. So
well, I think overall, I like Atlanta
hope the Braves
better.
win, yeah.
I hope the Braves win. Yeah, it's still 1-1. Next game is tomorrow. There you go. And that's it for sports news.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching, everybody. We really appreciate all of you. We gained another subscriber. I don't want to give you a specific shout out just in case you don't want it, but you know who you are. Thank you very much. And let's keep it going. If you are enjoying this video, if you watched it and are liking it, make sure to hit that subscribe button. If you think it deserves a like, give it one. If you don't think it deserves one, go ahead and move on. But it does really help us out, and it'll really help us grow the channel if you do that. So please feel free to do so. Happy Halloween if you're going to celebrate it. I'll be giving out candy, so if you know where I live, which will be very creepy, I'll be giving out candy.
I know where you live.
Yeah.
I know where you sleep.
Yeah, you do. Right next to me.
Yeah.
Right next to
on the
you.
Floor.
So, thank you. Appreciate all of you. Have a fun, safe weekend. GG.
GG.
Spooky season!
Spooky season!
Woo!